Because I just realized it's not echoing.
Is it not echoing? Is it working now? Yes?
Yeah, there
no?
we go. It's on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I had to wait for the live. Right, well.
All right. Do we do introductions again, or do we just start?
Do it again.
Feel free to introduce yourself all over again. We are almost on fire and apparently almost working.
Almost.
Almost.
We got there. I'm Eminar.
We're always almost.
You're Isabel.
I'm Bill is alive.
And I am
usually dead in games. Sorry.
Is that your tagline now?
It was funnier the first time when no one could hear it.
True. That is true. And I'm Isabel. Today we're discussing or reviewing what Reddit considers assholes in today's world. So, am I the asshole for telling my daughter she has caused her own problems? My male, white female, and I are both 48 and 2 daughters, Liz 30 and Ash 24. I'm not sure where to start with this, so I'm just gonna jump in. Liz used to date a young man named Pat. They were together for 5 years, starting in college. In their 4th year together, Pat was accepted into med school, while Liz struggled. She worked as a dockside worker, and desperate for more income, she took up side jobs and took up a position in a local pizza shop to get management experience. From the outside looking in, Liz was working hard, long hours, while Pat was being crushed in school. They ended up getting engaged. However, Liz cheated on Pat in an affair and got pregnant. Their relationship ended, obviously. Ash went to the same school as Liz and graduated without any hiccups. She works in finance and she seems to be very happy in life, and we couldn't be prouder of her. Last year, Ash approached myself and her mother about a guy she knew she had met. It was Pat. They had met while they were both working. To make a long story short, they had been dating over a year now, and Ash seems to be very happy while Pat seems like a great guy. Liz has not taken this new development well at all, and has made issue out of issue with it. My wife and I both warned Ash this was obviously a huge problem, but she was sorry for Liz, but she threw Pat away, so she didn't care. This guy needs to work on his grammar. I don't know what's going on.
Well, most of them do in this.
Yeah, still. So basically, his wife and him warned Ash, the older sister, I'm guessing. No, the younger sister. Okay, the younger sister, that there was going to be a huge problem, but she was sorry. And though she was sorry for Liz, Liz, the older sister, threw Pat away, so she didn't care how she felt about it. Liz's life has been difficult to say the least. She has 2 children as a single parent, and her career has never taken off. She doesn't do bad, however, I guess she has higher ambitions. Her life is certainly tougher than Ash's, and now she's dating a doctor who she was once engaged to, so she's on a downward spiral. Friday night, Liz came over, asked us to watch her children, but my wife and I weren't up to it. One is special needs, and we just don't have the energy for it sometimes. She had a meltdown where she unloaded her emotions on us. I told her that her problems are her own fault. She chose her degree, she chose her job, she chose to cheat, she chose to have kids and be a single mother. These were all her choices, and I am sick of hearing how bad her life is at all the time. Am I the asshole? Which major did she choose? It sounds like her parents didn't agree with her major either.
In drama, by any chance?
Can you imagine?
Sorry, that was bad.
It took a moment, but I got it afterwards. Yikes!
Drama? You have something against drama? You're not an Asian tiger parent.
I don't know. It from the first couple of lines, it just sounded like a particular plot in a D&D campaign. You know, and she's a dock worker, has a side job, a child.
Wait. This sounds like a Bon Jovi song. Working at the docks. No?
I don't know. I don't know any Bon Jovi songs actually.
Oh dear.
Living on a Prayer?
I was going to say, apart from Living on a Prayer, I don't know any Bon Jovi songs.
Well, that's the one with the dock, the working at the docks one, right?
I don't know the words in that song beyond Living on a Prayer.
I think you need to sing that song for Eminar.
Please.
I don't know the whole song.
That's okay.
You
You
just
know
need to
enough to
sing-
know
you
the
just need to sing a
lyrics
dock
about the
worker part.
docs, right?
Yeah, there. See? Dock
Well, I
worker
mean,
part.
what do you guys think? I think that it's hard to
There he goes.
say because, like,
Jerry says live in a prayer. She knows it too.
yeah, they're living in a prayer, right? The on the one hand, they have the responsibility to raise their child correctly. On the other hand, you can't have full control of your kids. Um, you know, so
We discussed in the
Ooh.
previous ones that they can
Reynold
have
knows. Total
Well,
Eclipse of the Heart, Bon Jovi.
Is that what it's called? Oh, okay.
wait, that's
Oh wait,
not
that's
Bon
another
Jovi.
song. That's another song.
I thought that was a
Is it
different
Bon
one.
Jovi?
Oh, we're gonna Google this now.
Excellent.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Seriously?
I thought
No, I don't think.
I don't think that was Bon Jovi.
No, I don't think that's Bon Jovi.
No,
Um,
I don't think either. It's Bonnie
I
Tyler.
think it's yeah, it starts with a B, but
It's not even
Close,
a guy.
but not really.
Pontifical order.
Anyways,
Jovi.
do you think
Okay.
the father is an asshole for telling his daughter this?
I think, as with other ones, very tired parents, very sad times. He's not wrong, but it's a bit of an asshole move to say it, especially in middle like a breakdown. Pretty much, like it sounds like we got good reason to be breaking down.
Mhm.
I think it's an
Why did she
asshole
cheat, though?
move. I don't know if he's an asshole. You know,
I don't think he's
we don't know
necessarily an
that.
asshole if she like very consciously cheated on her fiance at the time.
Wait,
I think he has
sorry,
every right to say that.
who unconsciously cheats?
No, I
You
mean,
don't
like,
just
you know,
suddenly slip in and out of a person, as it were.
like, it's not like a one night stand kind of thing, right? If it's like, she's
That's still consciously cheating.
yeah, but like if it's like, if it's like they were having a rough patch or something, right? And they, you know what I mean? It's like it depends on the circumstances,
You mean
right? If
a
there was,
less serious kind of one?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't going to get too much into the cheating part because we don't know anything about that. It just sounds like
No, we
everything's
don't know.
rough. It sounds like there's been a lot of things working against her, and she's made some mistakes and everything as well. He makes a good point, but at the same time, it's in a time of need for her. But I think he pulled an asshole move, but I don't think he's necessarily one because it's also in a way tough love, maybe. But then maybe that hasn't been going on, right? The whole growing up process or something. I don't know. And I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but what if partially the parents' fault?
Alright, is it down for me to play devil's advocate again then?
He just said there, he could be it could be their fault.
I think they're not assholes.
I think he's a bit of an asshole here.
Same. And I think it comes from his tone in all of this, right? I understand that the older child always gets it worse. There's a lot more expectations. And it sounds like he's been severely disappointed in both Liz's and his eldest's decisions of her degree, her choice in jobs, her choice to cheat, and her choice to have kids and be a single mom. I think it's laying it down a little harsh, and I think there's some resentment in terms of how, like, your eldest didn't succeed and your golden child is stepping up and marrying a doctor. But at the same time, it's also like,
whoa, wait. The golden child is on a downward spiral. Was getting married to a doctor.
No. The golden child is Ash, which is the younger one. The eldest is the one that's already been the disappointment.
But the one with the doctor was engaged, now only dating?
No. So the oldest was the one that was dating the doctor, and then things fucked up, right? And then her younger sister started dating the ex of the older sister.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
So, but at the same time, like, I feel like at least the husband of the two kids sound very, like, financially motivated, because it sounds like he's demeaning her job in being a dockside worker being a local pizza shop person, and the only thing he's said about Pat is that he's a doctor. Okay, so how does that make him a good guy? Because he's a doctor?
Of course not.
So, I don't know. It just sounds extremely biased in that sense. And I'm like, I get that you have expectations of your oldest and it didn't come through. But at the same time, like, you know, not every child comes with the same potential as the other one. So if you're picking and choosing based on like your past failure versus your new shiny toy, it's like maybe you shouldn't be a parent. So I kind of think he sounds like an asshole right now, but maybe there's more information to it.
Yeah, let's see if there's any edits or additional stuff that's thrown in there.
So Reynolds says the father is
Should I allow
a piece of the male organ.
Should I allow it or not?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Why that?
Oh wait,
Oh, you blocked.
I did not. Someone else did. It's Nightbot.
I clicked a lie.
No, Nightbot did it before you could.
Nightbot, be cool, Nightbot. We said the father is a dick. Nuff said is all cool.
Wait,
Mm.
this is Reynold?
Yeah, this is Reynolds.
Oh, this is part of the
hello.
order. Come on, man.
But yeah. So Bill says not the asshole, and Minara says in between, and I'm saying sure,
I say
the
more
father is an
than
asshole.
not.
Okay.
But
So
I wanna see if there's edits.
So the top comment here. Look, this might be an unpopular opinion considering how this sub reacts to stories of people dating their siblings. That's another thing. Like, why would you date your sibling's ex?
Yeah, that's an off, out of bounds kind of thing there. You're not supposed to do that.
Maybe she didn't know at the time.
My ass.
How do you not know? Don't even pretend. Like, they were dating for 5 years.
Yeah, you don't just not know.
Oh,
that.
5 years? Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
they were
That's
dating
true.
since college, and they were dating for 5 years. And then on the 4th year, that's when things went crashing down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the little sis knew and was like, I'm gonna get myself some of that. Anyways.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I mean, like, if they're really good with each other, like, I know it's not nice, but the sister's at fault, right? So.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
so's the guy technically. So
Why is the guy at fault?
you don't date the sister of of your ex. That's
yeah.
why.
Like, you know,
Like,
yeah,
you're gonna
sure,
see
you
your
might
ex
seem
all the
very
time.
compatible, but like, there's also other people. How many people are in the world? Like, you don't have to date your ex's siblings.
At least 5 out there. I'm sure of it. Though
At
I haven't been
least.
out recently to know, but I've heard there's at least 5. I can see you two, and Pont officials on the chat, and Cherry exists, I believe. Though it's been a long time since I've actually seen her. I'm not 100% confident on that one though. Anyway,
Reynolds agrees. That's weird. No, she knew. Even Reynolds says, yeah. Derry says, "Is that a wig? Are you wearing a wig, Eminar?
no, she's got natural air.
I'm wearing a wig.
You're wearing
that
a
obvious?
wig?
This is actually a
Is it that
beard.
obvious?
Oh, got it.
Barely a beard, but it's a beard.
But yeah, like there's no way you didn't know. Anyways, so they're going by the opinion, once you've cheated on someone, I think you lose the right to be upset about something like that. Liz already burned that bridge, and not as if Ash and Pat were having an affair while they were together. Too bad. I feel bad for Liz. She ruined her own relationship. These choices have consequences. That's how life works. And someone following up to that says, I disagree with your judgment. Reread the post. OP talks a lot about Liz cheating and Ash getting together with Pat, but all the information is really irrelevant. I don't know why he even included it. The situation we are judging is how OP talks about in the last 3 paragraphs. Liz is dealing with a lot. She's a single mother. One of her kids has special needs, and she's not making a lot of money. She's overwhelmed by all this, unloads all of her emotions about this onto her parents, looking for support. They tell her that all of this is her fault. OP is the asshole for saying that, even if it's true, not the time or place. I want to add that I agree with you that Liz is an asshole for cheating years ago. I think it has nothing to do with the current situation.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That's true.
Yeah, it's very heavy on yeah, the wrong thing. Like maybe everyone in here is assholes, but that guy is an asshole.
Let's scroll down further to see if we any further.
Okay,
I'm
you have swung me. You have swung me to
I
your
have swung.
side.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
We're all swinging with Billy.
It also says, I'm sorry, but do you even like Liz? All your comments absolutely just rip into her about being a single mother that cheated on one of her exes. That's Reddit for you. But your account, but by your own account, she's doing okay, providing for her kids and giving them a stable home. Yes, she had an objectively better life if she didn't fuck up with Pat. Something that it seems you are quick to remind her of. How often do you remind her? Once a week? Once a month? When she's feeling down and venting about things? She was with Pat for 5 years. Did Ash not meet him once, hear about him, see pictures of him? Ash saw her her sister's ex, willingly decide to start a relationship with him. This isn't about the heart wants what it wants, because this wasn't some stranger to her off the street. She absolutely knew what she was doing by bringing her ex back into her family. Is Pat so okay with this too? Is he playing family with a woman who betrayed him? That is true too. That's weird. Or it was probably the exact outcome he wanted. Liz undergoing emotional distress while him and Ash play innocent. Also, Pat was with Liz for 5 years. This is absolutely the most significant relationship in both their lives. And Pat starts dating a sister of the woman who betrayed him as his next significant relationship. This is a reason most people don't date their siblings' ex, because relationships can shape who we are and their expectations we have of others. Pat has 5 years of intimate knowledge about Ash from Liz, while as it sounds like Ash's don't give a fuck about Liz.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have a close relationship. Ash is far from more blind. Ash is coming far more blind. Okay, I guess. There's an imbalance here. I'd be skeptical of Pat's intentions, but you seem so fucking thrilled that one of your girls caught that doctor, so I doubt you actually care about that. ESH. What is that?
I have no idea.
I will look that up. Everyone sucks here. Oh, okay. Everyone sucks here, I guess. You, Ash, and Pat for sure. Liz, because she needs to distance herself from you guys and need to come to terms with her mistake and how her family, you and Ash, suck. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mod Visual makes a good point. This is too much.
Everyone's an asshole.
Liz and... Everyone's an asshole, but the father especially. I mean,
yes, this is about judging the father.
It seems that everyone has been making some asshole moves here, perhaps.
Some people
I'm not
also
sure about
note.
Ash. Was Ash also?
Some people also note that the OP calls his grandkids her kids. So much detachment. Yeah, I don't think he was very pleased with his eldest being a fuck up. Or in his eyes, a fuck up. Reynolds also says, I think people are too focused on the Liz versus Pat versus Ash. I thought this is judging the father. Yeah, I agree. The motives of everyone is sketchy here. Which really begs to question, because I think at the very top, they've decided that he's not an asshole. So I wonder how this is actually determined.
Yeah.
Because I think he's kind of
asshole. A lot of
people
people are saying here he is, right?
It seems like it, at least the ones that are highlighted.
Interesting.
Reynolds says this is the internet. Oh, yeah, I guess welcome to the internet.
This is not democracy.
Nope, not at all. Alright, let's, any concluding comments before we move on to the next one?
Maybe I should get a doctor.
You should get a doctor. Wait, aren't you, like, kind of not seeing but hearing a doctor right now?
Wait, what?
My brother is a doctor.
Oh, yes, that's true. PhD is still a doctor, right?
PhD is actually the only real doctor, since he's a medical doctor. I like to screw around with him on that one, but he knows, because his girlfriend did a PhD as well. So yeah.
Damn. All right, next one. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't move across the country with her or take care of her nephew anymore? Wait, take care of my nephew anymore. That makes more sense. I was like, her nephew? That'd be your kid. Okay. So she's female 26. A little backstory. When I was 16, my mom moved her and myself across the world, UK to US, to be with my sister as she was going through IVF. I lost all my friends, drifted apart from my family. I'm 26 now and finally really happy living here. I love my nephew. He's my best friend. I was technically his nanny for about a year, and we were super close. Usually, if I'm not working, I'm with him camping trips, theme park trips, adventure together. If my nephew wasn't part of the equation, I probably wouldn't even speak to my sister. Oof.
Oh,
Now
so much
she,
bitterness.
right?
Yeah.
Now she decided they want to leave the state we live in, move to the other side of the country, and she expects us all to go. She's been asking me for almost 2 weeks, and she had my mom asking me too. But I don't want to. I'm an adult. I will not have my life thrown into absolute chaos for her again. I told her this as she was badgering me to move in with them. She called me a dramatic bitch, and I'm being completely unreasonable. It would be nice to have a change. I told her no, if she's really planning on moving and taking my nephew, then she cannot rely on me for childcare anymore because it's about to break both mine and my nephew's heart when we are separated, not 15 minutes away from each other. Now I'm the villain, family villain, and barely anyone speaking to me because I'm so dramatic and rude. Am I the asshole?
No,
No.
not at all. Screw this. Move halfway
I
across the
mean,
country or
how
whatever, and you expect your family to come with you? That's not how it works.
why is she moving to the other side of the country?
It doesn't say.
It
Like
doesn't
that
really matter though. Like they're both 26 here, right? Or at least she's 26. The other one, her
Uh,
sister, is not. Whatever. But either way, the poster
10
is
years
26.
apart. Oh wait, sorry. No, they're not 10 years apart. She was 16 when she moved. Okay, yeah.
so that was like 10 years ago. And I'm
But
guessing if the sister is old enough to do IVF, that's at least 21. So maybe like a 5 year gap.
because either way, they're adults, right? Like
Right.
you don't have to move with your siblings across the country.
Yeah. I think the point, and I'm not saying that she's not the asshole because I feel like, yeah, you're 26. If you want to live here and stay here, there's going to be certain concerns about you being able to survive on your own, maybe. But in the end, you don't have to move. I think the point of contention really is that she blames her sister for rearranging her life as a kid. But
I
at
mean, it
this
was the mom's decision.
right, so it was the
Huh?
mom's decision to like move them there. So I don't know why there's so much resentment that she's not talking about when it comes to her sister, especially if she loves her nephew, you know? And that it's gonna break
Maybe
her heart for them to be separated.
I, I'm confused here because it's the woman and her son are moving away,
Yes.
and the poster is staying where she is because she doesn't want to move with them,
Right.
yep.
right?
Yeah.
So why on earth would she be an asshole in this situation?
Well,
No,
because the
no, I
family is saying like, why are you being difficult? So she feels like
Doesn't have
she's
to
being
go.
like gaslit for having an opinion, you know?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying that you think that she might be an asshole in this situation.
No, no, no. I'm just
Why?
saying, like, I think she has some unresolved feelings about her sister because she seems to be
Oh yeah,
blaming her sister for a lot of things, right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
That's
saying
that's
she's
that's true
like
here.
the asshole. I'm just saying, like, that maybe people are considering her dramatic because she has some repressed feelings that she hasn't
yeah,
really outspokenly said or mentioned.
maybe she's
See,
jealous of her sister. Maybe like her sister was the favorite, and that's why the mom like moved the whole family to the US to be with the
Maybe,
sister. Hmm.
maybe.
I don't think she's an asshole for saying that she wants to stay. I don't think. Hmm. Yeah, I think maybe the other people are assholes for calling her rude for not wanting to go and not talking to her because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Um, yeah, I don't think they're assholes for wanting to move though, because they might have good reasons for that. Like,
everyone has good reasons for moving or not moving somewhere.
Right.
Just do that on a whim.
I think most people are resounding in the not the asshole. There doesn't seem to be any highlights to it, so I'm gonna take that as a consensus.
Don't even discuss it. It's just NTA. Like, okay then. Okay,
Yeah.
your Lizzie ass opinion.
What about you, Reynolds? Do you feel like she's the asshole? Cherry, Dairy? I see you lurking, Dan. And
Yeah,
Kiki.
I saw too. Any other people lurking out there who wish
Dairy
to
says, I like being the family villain, but I'm an only child.
Oh, you're an only child? Oh, I never knew.
I knew it.
It makes so much more sense now.
Right? It makes so much sense.
Yeah. All that talent compressed into one creature. Whereas for me, I get to be the stupid one in my family, and all the good stuff passes down to the others.
Is that how it works? I don't think
Probably.
so.
I don't know.
It's a limited resource.
Wow.
It's a limited resource. You kind of like scrounge at the start, and then you're just like, screw it, just give them everything. That's why the youngest is always the most spoiled.
Yes, this is true. This is true. All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's move forward, guys. This one says, am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop using my vehicle?
Ooh.
Ooh. I think you have an opinion already. All right. My 34, so I'm guessing the poster, 34 female, husband, 36M, male, has a long history of buying himself nice things, expecting everyone else in the family, we have 2 kids, to only have very cheap and hand-me-downs. The hell?
What?
Hell no. Hell no.
For example. Wait. This isn't like sandwiches or anything, right?
It's
like,
not sandwiches. It's summoned a cherry, so for example, he buys himself the newest iPhone when they come out, and he gives me his old one. Ew, why? When he wants to...
They're only 1 year old anyway.
I mean, seriously, like, regardless of, maybe he like...
No, I agree, but still,
it's the
iPhones... The fact he's buying an iPhone just makes him the worst to me anyway. Everyone
I
out there
agree.
iPhones.
1 year old iPhone is basically, you've lost half of the life of the iPhone, right?
Yeah, that's how bad iPhones are. Why would you get an iPhone?
I judge you
and
all
half is
phone
the
users.
upper limit. Anyway, sorry, you may continue.
Yeah. When he wants to read a book, he buys the digital, audio, and physical copy so he can read however he wants, whenever he wants. But when my kids want to do activities, I have to save and find ways to pay for them, sometimes out of things like bonuses I make at work. Recently, I found out my husband racked up divorce him. 70K in credit card debt, so I took over our finances to try and do whatever I could to pull us out of debt. Also note, I am the breadwinner. Over the year, I work approximately twice as many hours as him and make over twice as much money. I don't care a lot about that, but I feel like our money should be more equal than me supporting his habits. I really hate materialism, which is why this has gone on for so long. I'm so tired of how unequal it all seems. So here's the am I the asshole part. Darius says red flag, dead flag. Every time we have purchased a new vehicle since we have been married, my husband picks it out. He gets to drive the new vehicle, and I get the old one. The hell?
What?
The last time this has happened, we agreed that the next new to us vehicle would be mine. About 9 months ago, he got into an accident and totaled the car. Like he agreed, I got to pick out the replacement vehicle, where we said it was mine. It's even only in my name. Since the day we bought the newest vehicle home, he keeps taking it everywhere. He drives it to work, he takes it shopping, etc. I explain this frustrates me because he removes my items from the vehicle, leaves trash in it, and takes it whenever I need it to. This has continued for 9 months. It's recently been a big issue that he has to clean it all out before I can use it again. I finally said he needs to stop using it as his primary vehicle. It's supposed to be my primary vehicle. He thought this was a joke, made more jokes about it today. I finally told him that he just needs to stop using it and asked me for permission to use it. He seems to think this is ridiculous, but has reluctantly agreed. Am I the asshole? Before I reread the edits, what do y'all think?
Well, you know what? Like when you first read the title, I thought she was the asshole, but after you read everything, I would say she's not the asshole.
Yeah,
I don't understand why she would have been the asshole even from the start. What was going on there?
Gaslit. I mean, you're in a relationship long enough with someone, like, they guilt you into thinking otherwise, right? Oh, hey! Thanks for the raid, GD Moro.
Man,
Uncle Moro is joining us.
This is a very strange relationship where the wife is the breadwinner, but the guy gets all the new stuff. This is
not so much. This is very like the first few episodes of Parks and Recreations with what do you call him?
Oh, Andy.
Andy, yeah. This is exactly like the relationship with Andy.
No, that didn't work out, right?
Yikes.
So
no, he fell in the pit twice. At least
exactly.
I don't know. I'm only in the season 3 at the minute or 2. He's been in that pit a lot of times.
Cherry adds, I concur, she's not the asshole.
I agree. I really like this post because there's only really 2 people in it, and I haven't got lost once.
The only difference here is that I guess like I see this almost like a sugar mommy and a sugar daddy kind of sugar mommy and sugar baby kind of relationship where she's just kind of feeding his hobbies.
Technically the husband is older than her. So is it really?
That's true. Maybe he's a baby face.
Maybe. But I think it's like you can't help who you fall in love with, right? And at the end of the day, like, maybe that attraction overrides the logic of, hey, are you actually smart with your money? Like, are you selfless? Or at least, like, not too selfish to the point that it's going to affect the relationship?
So there's the difference between falling in love and actually loving someone else. And it seems very much like he is not actively loving her, i.e. like putting her, at least a lot more than what he is currently. Supposedly first would be the nice thing, but it sounds like he is just putting her second in everything in relation to the material side of things.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
But you could also chalk that up to like habit, though. Like,
yeah, but
maybe
still,
he grew up in
a
family that's like.
I don't subscribe to the whole background and this is the reason why. Like, you have 36 years to learn in life at this point. You could have definitely learned to be a little bit more considerate.
True.
I don't for 18-year-old and all that. Yeah, sure, maybe 20, 25. You're 36, man. Grow up.
But, and here's me playing devil's advocate here, is she just doesn't seem to really talk about it until it boils over.
Yeah, she's not.
So if he never really got that value system from her early on, he's probably thinking, oh, this is okay to do that. It's okay to do that. All right, this is like, the value that she's putting on the table. I can accept that, and I don't have to change my ways, right?
That's fair too. Like, the dog will keep kind of shitting on the carpet till you kick it. I mean, it's true though, right? I mean, he is a dog, it seems.
Yeah.
Is that an idiom? Or did you just make that up?
No, it is actually an idiom.
I mean, I hope.
I didn't say it exactly right, probably, but it goes that way.
Derry adds, I think the guy has some issues and has no financial awareness. She said her earning the money and him spending it is not an issue, but does remove the fact that the husband is lacking some sort of financial awareness. Yeah, like the fact that she's like, oh, I don't mind him spending the money. I think that's the kind of built up routine that has been embedded into the relationship. So it's making clear your boundaries.
What do the edits?
Yep, coming to it.
By the way, first, I disagree with kicking dogs. Just as a FYI, please.
Yes, absolutely. That was like a metaphor. That was a metaphor.
No, we don't do.
It's like called there's multiple ways to skin a cat. I also wouldn't skin a cat. It's evil as they are.
Don't. That's very not nice to cats,
No, but still, it's another idiom saying. Anyway, yep, edits. I'm
First
just digging
edit.
a bigger hole for myself.
I know this is not the biggest issue, and I've been taking a lot of steps to resolve the others, especially finances. At this time, I have complete control over finances. He has agreed to this. The financial situation is a long issue in itself. I know I'm not the asshole in the financial situation. I'm just asking about the specific situation since in the US, vehicles are marital assets. It doesn't matter. Edit number 2.
The actual issue here was the
Edit number 2. Answering a lot of the common questions here, I was referring to the vehicle situation as not being the biggest issue. The financial problems obviously are a huge issue. I know I'm not the asshole about our financial issue. I found out about this in November and we've been working through it. The only reason I have considered staying with him after that is he has given me full transparency and is helping me come up with solutions to pay it down. He is now giving me access to his credit report, and he has been transparent about everything since I found out about the debt. There were no surprises. I ran my kids' credit report. There's nothing on them. Oh, I guess commenters are like, maybe he fucked up the kids' report as well. He has bipolar disorder. He's currently in weekly therapy and sees a psychiatrist every 4 to 6 weeks for med regulation. He does not have a spending addiction. We've specifically asked his therapist to assess this. Excess spending can be a sign of mania. Yeah, that is true. Mania, like when you're going in a manic episode, that could happen. We're looking for a marriage counselor, but it's been hard to find one outside my work hours, and I cannot risk my job right now. We're still looking. I'm not sure how this is relevant, but some people seem to think he's a stepdad to our kids. He's a stepdad for the oldest. We have primary custody. He is the biological dad for the youngest. I may not stay in the marriage. I have been considering leaving, having consulted with an attorney. I just wondering if I was the asshole in this situation about the vehicle, but it seems clearly not. Okay, lady.
Oh, sorry. Cherry was saying that our volume is a bit low.
Let me try and up that. How about now?
Testing.
Hello, hello, hello.
How does that sound, Cherry? Also, Jerry likes to add more. Yikes. I don't want
always
them to
more
blow.
With your volume, I think, Isabel. Your volume is never loud enough.
But they're in the yellow right now, right? So that's part where I'm like, okay. What about now?
Cherry, turn it up. Use the volume knob on that, whatever you're using.
So Derry adds,
maybe check your mic too.
But men are ego creatures. Maybe having things new and latest and the greatest is his way of asserting his being a man of the house for obvious lack of becoming the breadwinner.
Why are you like betraying your own sex?
He's not betraying. He's saying what's exactly true. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing. It's definitely not, but it is a psychological thing for anyone, really. It's not just men, I think that just goes for anyone.
I don't like new things. Well, actually, maybe I do.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, you don't like new things? The number of things that you've bought recently? Yeah, sure. What was that belt thing that you've got? You're doing this with all your streams.
I got that from Kickstarter.
You don't like new things, but you browse Kickstarter a lot. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Fine. I do
yeah.
like new things.
Yeah, you do.
Fair.
I mean, yeah, it could be an ego thing, but it's also, now that she's disclosed that like he's bipolar, I can see the mania kicking in terms of like spending habits, maybe depression if he's really that egotistic about not being the breadwinner, so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't think we really need to look at the comments to
see through our bill.
What?
Just looking at the comments here from Eminar. Eminar's betraying me.
I'm not betraying you. We see through you, and you're not liking new things. You like, yeah, sure. whatever.
Cherry says he wants to be a minimalist. Where's my bum bum?
Whoa, Derry, let's not say things like that.
Wait, what's part?
No, you're not. The stress in therapeutic shopping will.
Since he's half retarded. Oh,
well,
yeah, let's
man.
not say it that way though. That's not That's not at all a nice way of saying things.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, yes, bipolar and everything, but regardless of, you're still responsible for your actions, right? At the end of the day.
Bipolar is a complicated one. You still have a lot of control over things.
Yeah.
It is very complicated situation, and I don't want to try and even.
Like, I agree, like, certain parts of it could be part of his disorder, his mental illness. Yeah. But I think a portion of him not putting the same consideration towards his family, really telling him of how callous of a person he is, right?
Yeah, there's reasoning behind why he's done some of these things, and some excuses, but still responsible for it.
Yeah. Can't believe
like we all have to deal with
it.
We have to deal with now. Yeah, I mean, she says she's like possibly, might be like breaking up, as it were, but
she might not stay in the marriage.
She has done her due diligence up to this point with all the different things that have been getting fixed recently, it seems.
True. So here's a controversial question. If you were single and say if MNR.
If.
Yes.
And you found out the person that you clicked with recently has mental illness that could affect your relationship like that, would you consider breaking up with them, or would you try working it out?
You, first of all, are stating something extremely vague, being that there's a lot of different ways of that going.
So say they were bipolar. Do you think you could handle that in a relationship?
Wow, this is tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, because I was with someone who had ADHD, which is another one, but
ADHD versus bipolarism. Spectrum.
Yeah, there's different levels and spectrums for each one.
Yeah,
and there's different things that are bad in one and not bad in the other. As far as bipolar goes, I don't know. Like, click with them. Like, it's a very specific thing. Like, it's something that I can't imagine what really I would choose in this situation. I don't think I discount just completely or anything like that. It would be something I would consider and think about. I wouldn't like dive like head over heels and jump into marriage like immediately, but I try not to do that anyway most of the time. Except if Derry was open, just as a FYI. I'm available, Derry, but with your guitar, piano. Anyway,
guitar with roses and a candle. Yeah. What do you think?
Valentine's Day is coming up in 2 days. There's sand. Could get you a lot of chocolate.
Chocolate coated strawberries, man. That's the way to go.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that's a tough one. I wouldn't automatically, like, based on my experiences like so far, I wouldn't automatically discount it, whereas maybe in the past I would have. Like, I'm not saying I could handle that kind of thing, because it's more complicated than that, and that would be extremely selfish of me to say in such a way that I would be handling the situation of which is the person's situation themselves, who they're the one who has to deal with it in the first place.
Right.
So it's very complicated. I wouldn't say I also would, self-sacrifice myself to make the other person happy. I have learned that is not the way to go.
Yep.
And I've given up on that. Never again. Until I get stupid. What?
Is Derry saying that everyone has some form of mental illness? Is that what you're trying to say?
I would say mental trauma. I wouldn't say mental illness.
Everyone has got their own problems in their mind. Some of them are unfortunately horrendously worse than others. Yes. But everyone's got problems.
I agree.
So what if that question was flipped back to you, Isabella?
Oh, whether I could handle...
If you were single, Isabel.
I was single. I think honestly at this point, I'm not strong enough to take on a partner that would have severely negatively inflicting results on our relationship.
Severely, sure, but what about minor? Like,
depends on what you consider minor, right? So,
yep.
The reason why I think about this is because I do have a really close friend who is dating someone who has mental illness that keeps him from a lot of things. So, and by that I mean he started a degree, wasn't able to finish it because of his mental illness, and makes a lot of excuses, his behaviors, on that mental illness, and causes her a lot of distress and agony. So I think I take that as the forefront example that comes to mind, and to willingly put myself through that same type of anguish, I don't think I'd be strong enough to handle.
That's fair.
Derry says, yeah, mental trauma, but bipolarism or severe depression is no joke. Yes, that is true. And I think this part is difficult because I've also met another friend and her boyfriend who uses their mental or their illness as a crutch for their behavior. So they act like an asshole, but it's sort of like, you know what, I'm sick, I can't deal with it right now.
Yeah,
and I don't think that excuses you from being an asshole. Like, yeah, you're not feeling well, and I sympathize, but at the end of the day, Jester Jimothy, just tuning into some AoF discussions while folding my laundry. How's it going, Jimothy?
Hey, Jimothy.
I think this is right up your alley. I think Jimothy should chime in on this one. Would he be able to date someone who has destructive mental illness? Derry says, I think I now have mental illness after a month of watching Jester Jimothy. That's toxic. Don't do that. We're nice.
No.
Be
you
nice.
You had a mental illness from the beginning if you've been watching Jester Jimothy.
Oh, is that how
Just
it works?
kidding. Just kidding.
Y'all being too toxic tonight. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe if it's something that's not severely intrusive, I'd consider it. But like at this time and age, I'm like very extremely hesitant.
In relationships, you gotta look after yourself before you can look after the other person.
No,
so if you're not able to handle, like, I always have hated that whole thing that, you know, you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, or whatever. That's a bunch of fire trash.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. That's not how you build a relationship. That is the most toxic thing I've heard for that kind of crap. But yeah, like if you can't deal with someone, it's better for you not to be with them. That goes for a lot of situations, and not just on this topic. Like I try my very best not to take anything, I guess, lightly. Like I'm not a big fan of the jokes on it, as much as you've been posting the jokes on it. I'd rather you didn't. But you know, it's a serious situation for a lot of things, and some of them aren't you know, as severe as others, which is good, but
for sure. Gary says,
that was heavy.
BRB. Jester Jimothy says, almost on fire trash. Wait a minute. Are you calling us trash? Is that what you're trying to say, Jimothy? That's not very nice.
It's very toxic.
That's so toxic.
I was being mean to him earlier, so...
We don't perpetuate the cycle of toxicity. Okay, guys?
We do call out Billy, though. Billy, stop being toxic. Say you're sorry.
I was being toxic. I apologize, Jester Jim.
You're an absolute dick, Billy. Right?
I mean, like, I also watched your channel, so I guess you know, me saying that is also me poking fun at myself. Yeah.
Yikes, guys.
We're all in this.
Cherry Flava says, honestly, I don't think I can date someone with a mental illness. I care for them. Yeah, I mean, you can care for them, but to kind of put yourself into a relationship and feeling responsible for them, I think is a different thing.
That's if you, first of all, again, like a lot of these things, you don't have to be responsible. There's degrees of things, right? Like,
well, I mean,
these are like they're not different people. You know, there's everyone that, and getting way off.
I think Cherry might be thinking about
the worst kind of cases.
Yes. It's like people with mental illness can still take care of themselves. Well, depending on the mental illness.
Again,
mean,
we're being
emotionally
extremely
too.
open.
I don't mean
open
like
kind of
physically, like feeling mentally responsible for their actions and their choices and how it affects your relationship and your relationship with your friends and family.
That one can be tough.
Yeah.
Oh, look what Jester Jimothy is saying.
Jester Jimothy, it was a reference to Mark saying, if you can't handle me at my worst is trash, the chat is delayed.
I see.
He said it was fire trash.
Oh, it's almost a fire trash. Oh, I got you. Nice.
Nice.
Well,
very
well
nice.
caught, Jester Jimothy. If I could give you points, I would. But this is Isabel's channel, and I don't have points anyway. 5
points to... What house are you from?
He's green. It looks like Slytherin.
He can't be part of my house. I don't accept that. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Just immediate in there. You don't get to choose, Isabel.
It's gotta be Gryffindor then.
You don't get to choose.
Jimothy's totally Gryffindor.
Is he? I think he should take a test and let us know. Go on
Pottermore. I can see him being Gryffindor for sure.
He is a Gryffindor. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
He's a Gryffindor.
No, I feel I would agree.
I want to see after he takes that test.
I'm pretty sure Eminar is Slytherin, so you're both Slytherin.
I think you're a Hufflepuff, Bill.
He is.
I totally am.
He is. It's okay. I'm a Slitherclaw. It's different.
I'm a Slitherpuff if I was going to go, multi-classing, as it were.
Fair. All right.
Multi-classing, nice.
Yeah, you get multi-house. Slitherpuff, way forward.
True. Actually, I think he's a Gryffindor. Huffledore, maybe.
Not a Griffin Puff?
So you want to be a Griffin Puff?
No, I'm a Hufflepuff.
To be a Griffin Puff.
You're particularly good finders, did you know? Oh god. Alright, last topic. Let's move.
I like this one. This one's amazing.
Oh dear. Am I the
Sounds like
asshole for offering my coworker menstrual tea? I, female 25, work in a small office, only about 15 people and separated by a couple of floors. We have a chat at work. One of my coworkers, male 60s, chatted and asking if anyone has some tea because his throat was feeling dry. A few moments passed and nobody answered him, so I responded that I have some raspberry leaf tea. Raspberry leaf tea is medicinally used for regulating a woman's menstrual cycle and easing PMS. I did not think to mention this in the chat. I was on my period, so this is what I had at the moment. He accepted, so I brought it down to his desk, but when he saw the pink packaging and the healthy cycle, it got him very uncomfortable. I tried to assure him it's not just for that, and it's actually a mild tea with some honey that could help his throat. He again told me he didn't want it by saying it's not meant for me. I didn't press it any further and went back to my desk. Later that afternoon, I found out he has been complaining about me trying to give him menstrual tea. It was inappropriate because he's a man. I'll admit I got really annoyed here. He asked for tea and nobody offered any, so the way I see it, I was doing him a favor by offering what I had. I did not see any reason for him to not only be so offended, but to complain to my coworkers, make it sound like I was trying to poison him with a feminine product. I especially don't appreciate this last part because being in a small office, everything is like a game of telephone and tidbit of gossip always blows up by the end of the day. I directly messaged him saying I'm sorry I made him uncomfortable, but it's just tea. There's no way the tea can cause him harm as a man. I do not appreciate him talking about me to our coworkers. He read the message and did not answer. I'm sure he's still upset with me. Am I the asshole? TLDR, male coworker asked for some tea. I offered some raspberry leaf tea that is medicinally used for regulating menstrual cycles. This offended him. He complained to my coworkers about offering said tea. I'll leave the edits for in a bit. Thoughts?
I want to begin this by saying that look, it's not just tea, okay? Tea is amazing, and you cannot have just tea. I rest my case.
Fair.
Why? I disagree. You can have just tea.
Disconnect him. Disconnect him, Isabel. We don't need him here.
Oh dear.
I like having tea sometimes by itself. No dim sum, no biscuits, no cake, no
scones?
nothing.
Like if someone offered me that tea, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I feel that in this case, it's an older gentleman with a more refined way of thinking about life, and sees these scary women products and is from a different generation, as it were, and a little bit less open to that stuff, I guess. But he's the asshole for just going around and like giving off, as
Wait,
opposed
wait.
to
Before
whatever.
we judge him, can we
Judge
look
the
up
non-tea drinking hypocrite.
can we look up what this the packaging for this
what it looks
rose
like?
tea looks like? Yeah.
Do they give a brand or anything, do you reckon?
No.
Well, it says it's a raspberry leaf tea,
Yeah, it's a bold move to try and focus all on one exact thing.
No,
but,
she said it was pink and there was like a menstrual cycle symbol.
No, that's what I mean. It's a bold move to do that, because then you're pushing it to like a more direct audience, but it could work and it must work.
Earth Mama organic.
Because I guess a lot of 60-year-old men won't often drink raspberry tea anyway, so screw
What's
them, I
wrong
guess.
with raspberry tea?
Nothing. I like raspberry tea.
No,
what I'm saying is a
wrong.
lot of 60-year-old men will not drink it.
Yeah, it's probably a relatively new thing.
He is, yeah. I think he is the asshole as well.
Supports the female system. Maybe it looks like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that, I guess. Yeah, you hand that. Imagine handing that to one of the directors in our very nice company, right? One of the older ones, and supports the women's system.
It would be pretty weird if it has that text and you're giving it to a guy.
No, in that case, it'd be like EDI initiative.
Yeah, right. There we go. We start off this entire big thing now.
No, but I mean, what if like he not knowing much about tea, maybe he thought that, oh, this is like some kind of medicine, right?
Yeah, I think he comes from a fair point, and if it all just was, if it all stopped there and he just like didn't accept it and walked away and she walked away and that was it, then that would be good, right? There'd be no problem. This would not be a post or anything like that. But it's the fact that he went around and started spreading things like, oh, she tried to poison me or whatever, and he really just like was giving off to everyone. First of all, he's being an asshole for doing that when she had good intentions, not asshole intentions. But this is why she's asking it in the first place.
What if he thought she was trolling him?
No.
What if he thought that?
Imagine if
it takes it takes a pretty thick head to think that, but I can understand where you're coming from for it.
Yeah,
I mean, unless she has a behavior of doing so, then it would be incorrect to assume that she's trying to troll him. Like, unless she gave a certain impression that she's like a very big clown about it, then I don't think he should have that impression of it. But all in all, I also agree. I don't think she's the asshole. I think he was kind of the asshole for perpetuating it. If he had left it as no thanks, then it would have been fine.
I want raspberry tea now.
Same.
It would help me with my cycle.
I mean, I don't I don't think she was being an asshole, but at the same time, I don't think maybe the guy was maybe he I don't think he was necessarily an asshole. Maybe he's just like he's being paranoid or something. Maybe he's like.
But that's kind of like giving someone a bad name. It's like, don't interact with her because she's giving you menstrual tea. Like, okay, sir.
That's also true. Yeah.
People comment
my only
about
defense I can think is he's old.
Yeah.
Yes, that is also a defense.
I've
seen a lot of.
That is a boomer thing, if there ever was one.
Fair.
We're not allowed to use that word.
No, we're not.
I thought you told me not to use that word.
Oh no, what was I saying? No.
Yet you're using it now.
I told you you're not allowed to call yourself a boomer because you're freaking in your 30s.
That's true. You're not a boomer. Nice try, though. Consensus is toxic masculinity and that there should not be an issue. Midol is basically the same thing as Excedrin for migraines. It's a painkiller, caffeine. No matter how many times I told men that, they still don't take Midol. Even my husband, who sees me take Excedrin for migraine when I'm out of Midol, thinks it's a little strange to take Midol when he's out of Excedrin. Okay. Cherry says, "You are not a boomer, please." Laughing out loud.
Boomers unite. Oh my gosh. It is a bit strange though to take. I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, see that person saying that it is. Yeah, her husband finds it strange, right? Taking that medicine when they, I guess, effectively have the same chemical makeup or something. I don't know.
It has the same chemical makeup, but it's just a marketing tool, right? So
that's probably true. Yeah.
I mean, cake is the same chemical makeup of all its raw ingredients, but it doesn't taste the same.
True. That is true.
You know, this is different.
No, it's not. It's cake. Everything's cake. Onions are cake. Ogres are cake.
Cooked differently.
Jimothy says, "I meant the rest of you. I'm just chill here with my youth."
What? Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Okay, this guy's starting to fight real quick.
He just called you old, Isabel.
That's okay. I embrace this. I will age gracefully. Because I actually take care of my skin, unlike some people.
What?
What?
Who's that a dig to? Huh? I have a whole box of Lush stuff coming to me this week.
Cherry
really nice
says,
beard and face wash.
Honestly, it's all packaging, freaking marketing peeps. I mean, that's you. You're talking about yourself right now. It's just a way to market the product. No, you're right.
Yeah, but the marketing, the whole point of the marketing is to drive a response from the person to either, have it or not. And in this case, it drove the response to the guy not to have it because it was directed towards a different market of people. You see? So, freaking marketing peeps.
So right? I have a question that, do you think it is worth dividing your audience by having something that is so targeted when...
So in this case, I think it is a good idea because it's a tea, right? And it's a flavored tea, which is I think the larger audience that ends up drinking it in the end are women anyway. Now I drink a lot of flavored teas sometimes, when I'm in the mood for it too. I love them, but I think women are the bigger kind of profile people who do drink.
Well, like I meant in terms of Excedrin and Midol. Like,
are they additional or are they just like naturally in it? Because like if it's naturally in it anyway and just like throwing it out there going, oh, and by the way, we have this, it's kind of similar to just like having marshmallows that say fat free, even though no marshmallows have fat in them. It's just like highlighting the obvious just to get more people to get it.
Fair.
Is it there anyway?
Or I wonder if it's because there is an oversaturation in the market, so you're trying to stand out by marketing only to a certain group of people.
Yeah, you're trying to get into a niche or something, right? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Not necessarily a niche, but because it's basically like a 50-50, right? Like men or women, that is your market.
Yeah. A lot of things do that. Maybe. There's a lot of products that split men and women.
Yeah. And they do the exact same thing, like razors. Yeah. I'm so mad.
Yeah, you can just buy a man's razor and it's a lot cheaper and does the
exact same thing. Well, yeah, exact same thing. A lot cheaper. Yikes.
Clothing, same thing as well. Men's clothing could be a lot cheaper in cases.
I wonder if that's changing, though, realistically speaking, because like they're.
Yeah, I think it's changed more recently.
Is more fashion-forward men that might be interested in fast fashion, and would that potentially change the market enough to see a change in that?
I just say buy a kilt. It's cheaper than buying a dress.
Not everyone knows how to wear a kilt. You're gonna have to teach them. Maybe that could be the next thing.
You just don't wear panties. It's fine.
You know,
Oh my
sometimes it's
God.
too breezy.
Gotta have the air blowing up there in the giblets. Gets it going.
Giblets. Wow.
What? Yeah,
What?
if you're cooking a turkey.
Fair. All right. I think that's the end of what we've prepared. Any final comments, you guys?
I really want some tea.
You want
Possibly
tea?
fruit tea.
Is
What are
there
your
tea?
thoughts on tea?
What are my
no
thoughts
milk.
on tea? I like
No milk?
tea in my bubble tea.
I do like it in my bubble tea. Speaking of which, do we have any
What's
bubble
that?
tea?
It is different. I've
Are
still
you-
never had bubble tea, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe, depending
Can't
on
the
which
lactose
store.
free, right?
No, it's because they use powdered milk, right? And
Yeah,
that doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, no, it's still got lactose on it, the powdered milk. Yeah. Bad
Really?
times.
Would it be more because I know a lot of Asians are also like lactose intolerant, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Sure. Maybe
So
it's
you
not
would
as
think
bad.
that I don't know, perhaps.
I don't know. Milk chocolate gets me, so that's how bad it is.
Oh, I see.
We have some ice cream.
Thanks,
I
bro.
mean, to be fair, a lot of people recently that I've met recently also really don't like chocolate. I don't understand that.
Strange
How
people.
can people not like chocolate?
I feel sorry for them. I wouldn't date them.
Go ask certain people that
Or
you
I
know.
would. I could date them, and that way I'd have all the chocolate. No one would steal my chocolate. Done.
You can give them
Getting
chocolate
True.
and eat it
Anyone out
yourself.
there who wants to get me chocolate for Valentine's Day, feel free.
But then you'd have to
Um,
give them something back in March.
What's in March?
So that's White Day. So you, if a,
Wait,
so
what? What's White Day?
typically the tradition
It
goes
doesn't have to do
the
with the
girl
color of your skin.
confesses to the guy on Valentine's, and then White Day is the reciprocation. So if the guy likes the girl, he'll give her something back on like March 14th.
I always thought that the guys had to give the girls stuff on Valentine's
Western
Day.
versus Eastern.
Don't know anything about this White Day. All I know is Paddy's Day is on the 17th of March, and that's the better day. That's the March day.
Yeah,
That's
you guys
Green
can
Day.
drink together.
Green Day, yeah.
Green beer.
Yeah. American Idiot, all those songs.
All right.
Drink the beer, drink the whiskey. It's all good.
I think this is a good spot to take a break. And
Yes.
we'll be back.
GG's.
BRB.